Go ahead. Make my day.
You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
I mean, what kind of guy has dolphins for pets?
It'd be a privilege to have my heart broken by him.
Oh, look at that. I've been impaled.
That wasn't flying. That was falling with style.
It's the Al Travis Show, and our next guest, I'm going to say this out, I'll say it all. He's kind of like having our own secret mole in the government. First off, he's got a problem. He tells the honest, unblushed truth no matter what. And now, he's not running for office again. So I think it's a no-holds-barred cage match on Thanksgiving Eve. We've got him, Senator Jeff Howe. You look so happy these days, sir. I think your retirement is going to be good for you. If retirement, not running again.
It's feeling good already, Al. Come on. Yeah. So I got a question for you, Al. You're a veteran, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. So have you ever filed a claim with the VA?
I haven't. In fact, truth and honesty, truth and advertising. So I was in the reserve 6 years, 100 lifetimes ago. I mean, it was in 83. And I didn't know if I qualified. I actually asked him the other day and said, actually, I do. I have a hearing issue, and I might be able to get, because I was in the artillery department. I've never looked at it.
Fill out a sick slip for something, right? Those little sick slips, and go to the medics and say, I stubbed my toe or something, right?
This is wrong to say. We were on duty, and some guys wanted to show us artillery guys off, so they put us in the back of a Jeep with, big machine gun on the back, and then took us four-wheeling and my chin hit on the back end of this machine gun and just ripped my chin open. So I had to go in and get stitches on, this is 2-week duty. This is a barber who's happening to be, medic on the side, and they're stitching my chin up. Yeah, I filled out a couple of forms. My own fault.
So here's the deal. So let's say something happened, knocked your jaw, now you got TMJ or something later in life. So you go in and file a claim, and the deal is there was a huge backlog. And so with this backlog, what happens is you get these companies coming in to file claims for these veterans that either didn't ever file or
didn't get
have filed, and it gets turned back, and you got to do an appeal. Well, because there's a big backlog, these companies spring up to file these claims for them, because the CVSOs, the county veteran service officers, that are doing great work, right? There's just too much for them to do.
Sure.
So these guys step in and try to fill that void for those veterans that have been waiting for a long time to get a claim filed.
Sure.
Well, they're not all above board, right? They some of them are fraudulent and try to take advantage of veterans.
I think we found in every system everywhere in state this is going on. So yes, not a shocker.
They nickname those claim sharks, is what they call them.
Okay.
And so now there's a big to-do about, well, these guys are federally accredited, these guys aren't, and we've had some fights going back. I've been involved in this over a decade. In fact, I was going through an old drawer, one of my desks, and I found a bill back in 2017, and I said, I can draft this bill today and try to fix it. I mean, it's been going on that long that I've been fighting it. Well, Monday we had our first veterans hearing. And the CVSOs, the County Veteran Service Officers Association, were showing their legislative initiatives. And they really didn't want to get in. We had a big dust up last year on this issue that really, drove wedges. And so they didn't want to go down there, but our good chair decided to go down that road. And so him and I kind of got into it because, I've been in this. I've filed claims with my VSOs. They've done a great job for me. But there are folks out there, once you get into this, that there's attorneys out there that are accredited by the VA that do an excellent job. I've got one that's a good friend of mine, but because of what happened in 2016 with all this disclaimer that they got to do, saying, I'm going to take your claim and I'm going to take 20% of the arrears, the back payment.
Yeah.
But you can go get this same service from the county veteran service officers. So they had to be in a certain type, had to be this size. Every time they advertised, they had to blast this out. And I said, there was good attorneys that do this that said, we're never working in Minnesota again. We're never going to do it. And these guys get 100% claims done. These guys are really good at what they do.
But that's where they make their money, yeah.
That's where they make their money. Well, so I was trying to get that disclaimer stuff taken out. I mean, as long as they're VA accredited, who cares? They've already been stamped, they're good. But that was the first dust up we had between the veteran service officers and these attorney accredited deal. Now it's these other companies have sprung up because of the backlog that are not accredited, but they still do good work. Well
go ahead. I was just going to say what's interesting to me, sir, is in this situation, there's so many checks and balances. I presume if I go to file a claim, the first thing I do, find out if I'm a veteran. I got a veteran's card, so they know I'm a vet. Then you want to go, this is an accredited attorney that works for them. You got a VSO who works for the county. It seems we all know who is it, but you look at all the other fraud we've got here, we don't even know if the kid's got autism. We don't know if the autism daycare, you know what I'm saying? At least you're fighting the bureaucracy to prove that it should work. I'm kind of happy you're having this argument. Sorry if that's a pain.
Yeah, Al, you bring up an excellent point that I bring up too, because here's the deal. Listen, folks, if we had these people that are applying for all these assistance and all these programs, and they had to go through the scrutiny that veterans have to go through to get the benefits that they earned, half of them on a second appeal would walk away, right?
Yeah.
Because 90% of us that have filed for our benefit of an injury that we incurred or something, it takes an appeal to get it there, right? You're not going to get it it's a 90% fail rate on first time go, right? So if they got scrutinized like veterans got scrutinized, we wouldn't have any of this fraud.
Well, that's kind of what drives the rest of us nuts. To be a vet, you go earn it, you do what you ask for your country, what we ask you to do, and you come back and we're going to take care of you. It's a process. And what's funny about it, you know what the problem is? Most vets have been through the service. That's why they're vets. And they understand nothing goes fast. You got to stand in line. So they don't complain as much as they probably should. You sit here now and say that we might have $240 million in federal money going to be paused by the federal government because we're going to check to make sure there's no fraud. And you think you're pulling people's eyeballs out by a string. What do you mean? I'm like, wait a minute. We're going to check. The veterans understand that we want to make it done right, and they don't whine as much as they should, my opinion.
To be honest, Al, we and here's the thing, I did have a little bit problem with what one of the county veteran service officers said. She said, I'm here to help ease the burden of military life. And I went, time out. I've never considered my military service a burden. Is it difficult? Yes. But is it a burden? No, it's an honor that I had the opportunity to serve my country in that fashion. And my problem with that is if you instill in veterans that they're victims, they get that victim mentality and they'll be in every assistant line there is out there. And that's what's wrong with our society. This is the country of the best opportunities in the world, and we're playing the victim card? Come on. Well, if you weren't successful there, go a different direction, my friend. That's what it is. You got opportunities. Geez, somebody's not doing this. Hey, that's not a problem. That's an opportunity. Go provide that.
See, that's why you are who you are. I love that out of you. I got to go to break. When we come back, though, I got to get your honest feelings. Well, you always give me that. Your honest feelings on whether anything productive gets done. I will throw out at you
expectations, my friend.
Well, yeah, you do that, but the expectations. Optum gives the Department of Human Services their report on how things are, and they're going to give it to the committee, and it's blacked out. There's nothing there. You can't read anything in this report. That's not honest. It's not transparent, and I do expect more than that. We'll be back after this with Senator Howe.
When the stakes are high at the Minnesota Capitol, you need more than a lobbyist, you need a partner. At Momentum Advocacy, we bring nearly 90 years of combined experience in government relations, public affairs, and strategic communications. From nonprofits to national corporations, we help organizations navigate Minnesota's political landscape with integrity, insight, and results. Whether you need legislative champions or headlines, Momentum Advocacy delivers. For more, visit momentum-advocacy.com. Momentum Advocacy, your friends at the Capitol.
Think about it. A famous politician once said, "You're entitled to your opinion, but you are not entitled to your own facts." But in a world full of AI and fake news, where can Minnesotans find the facts? Center of the American Experiment is Minnesota's go-to source for fact-based analysis and common sense solutions for taxes, energy, public safety, and our kids' education. Visit AmericanExperiment.org for more information. Think About It is brought to you by Center of the American Experiment, Minnesota's think tank.
Don't need to ask him his opinion more than once. Al Travis on the Al Travis Show.
I've got him, Senator Jeff Howe, with me. Senator, I think the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So we go and pay somebody to take. We have an AUL, Office of Legislative Auditor. We have that person giving us all these recommendations. We never listen to that. Governor goes out of the way to pay Optum, another group, to come in and take a look, and they do a report for us. They give us a report that's completely blacked out, redacted. Can't get anything from it. However, they do give that report to Tim Walz and Shireen Gandhi, who was the assistant commissioner for last year, or the acting commissioner for last year. She has been with this commission, the DHS, since 2017, 9 years. Been assistant to the commissioner for how long? The acting commissioner for the last year. She sat on a board that literally was told her people were falsifying paperwork, backdating stuff to fill it out. And she goes, that's news to me. The governor makes her the commissioner. I don't know how you can mess up your way to the top any better than you. I don't know this lady. But if you're going to do that, and evidently her and Tim are the only ones that got to see the report, sir, nothing's going to change. I'm reading this saying this cannot be the way government works. Your thoughts?
Well, here's the deal, Al. It's with any investigation or any report, right? Who paid for the report?
Oh,
it was our tax dollars, but who set it up, right? You think that he's going to have a report and let it out when maybe the tracks lead right back to him?
What?
I mean, and why do you think it's redacted? I mean, oh my God, those people will all talk if they get let out, and so they redact all that information.
But
so
sir,
you don't know who said what.
How much will we take of this? The other group, he hired that, what's his name?
When you say that, Al, when you say that, who's going to do it? You need someone with judicial, prosecutical, law enforcement powers. The legislature doesn't have that. The attorney general does, but he probably got redacted out of the report. We don't know that. So sure. we need someone, and that's why the OIG is so important.
But the OIG, okay. This OIG is going to blow my top as well because we're just not going to get it passed because the governor doesn't want it. But the governor also...
Right. Even though he says, you get it to my desk, I'll sign it, and he's making sure it never gets to his desk.
Well, this is the interesting part. So he pays this, what's this O'Malley guy's name? Professor of independent director of whatever to make sure operations go. Tim O'Malley comes in 3 months, writes a 57-page report. You know what his report called for? An independent statewide observer, manager of our programs. Sounds like an OIG to me. We just changed the initials. That's what he told.
Amazing, right? Yeah. If you just had integrity as commissioners, they wouldn't allow this to happen.
Yeah.
If you just had, where does integrity start, Al? You know this because you're in the military. Where does the integrity start?
It starts at the top. But this is my point. And then you've got Star Trib. We'll talk about them. They're arguing again today whether it's just $200 million that's been frauded instead of the $9 billion that we think. So no one's been proven otherwise. They have cover.
And we're just going to argue about the amount, right?
Yeah. Well, it's cover because
I'm redrafting a bill from about 2014 or 16. I can't remember, but it's a bill to stop SNAP fraud. And it's not really fraud. It's not fraud. Millionaires can draw SNAP.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I remember you on the air talking about that. Didn't one of your people in your district who was a millionaire, he tested it out. He just filled it out, said, I'll see if I can get it, and he got it?
Yeah, and then they wanted to throw him in jail. And I went, no, he just tested the program. The program's the problem.
See, but that's why no one will go to jail. The autism thing was set up with no guardrails whatsoever. If you know this number, since they said you had to be licensed for autism, this came out yesterday. Since you have to be licensed, 500 autism centers, 6 have applied for their license. The other 494, it's not worth their time to make the money if they have to have a license. They can't do it. We set it up like the paid family leave. It's set up. Everybody's your family. There's no reason what constitutes getting off and what doesn't. We're going to send money out, and no one will go to jail because there's no law behind it. There's no real teeth to it.
Why don't we, as long as we're talking the military and veterans, let's take the veteran definition of family and apply that, right?
There you go. Yeah.
What's wrong with that? Why do we have to have a new definition for another program?
Sir, that's why I honestly don't believe anymore that anything's going to get done. I'll leave you with this last 90 seconds. You've been there for 2 weeks now, or almost 2 weeks. Do you believe anything of any substance will get done? They want to go after your guns now.
There will. I said it all along. You know me. Nothing good happens fast. This place is designed to work slow. And when things happen fast, it's bad news. This is all propaganda for November. That's all we're going to get. You're going to get a few things. I had a hearing on Monday. Boom. Transportation on a bill that I passed last year when the DPS decided that they're going to change the definition of a term. I went, wait a minute, we didn't touch that. So we got to go in there and make it clear. You're going to see a few things go through. I'm still fighting for burial rights. I think I've found an angle I might be able to get burial rights for National Guard soldiers in Minnesota. I'm going to have to give a little bit, but I'm good with that. They wanted my researcher says, what are you going to negotiate and give up to get something else? What are you going to vote for? I said, not a damn thing. If they want to vote against this, then that's all on them. right?
I wish
to go by itself. I don't want it packaged into a big omnibus bill.
I want more of that. I want more of that, one bill at a time. If you get, I know they put 7,000 bills up in a session or whatever. That's ridiculous.
7,000 bills, right?
Yeah, that's exactly. If you know it's not going to go anywhere, then you don't introduce it. Let's get the stuff that we can agree on. This burying of the National Guardsmen.
And
let's get the good stuff done.
I've got an effort trying to bring back the military advisory group that died when it went away. It's a good thing to get people talking across the aisle. Get groups in, we can flesh out what we think and then take that and try to get it done. Right. So we're going to try to reinitiate that program that we had years ago. I think it's helpful. I'm on my way out the door. I'm trying to see if we can maybe turn a light on someplace that'll continue to burn after I'm gone. So
you're going to set them up for success, my friend. I got to fly. I'm out of time. Appreciate you. I do.
It's all good.
He's Senator Jeff Howe. We call him Colonel Doge.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Bar